Now, the other important topic for the discussion, which has been in the news, was that 8,000 cases booked involving input tax credit of over 35,000 crore during this financial year. So let's see what is this for input tax credit. What is input tax credit? It is the tax that a business pays on a purchase and that it can use to reduce its tax liability when it makes a sale. So you see, there is they have to pay output tax. So this is the tax that a business house or a venture place on a purchase that it can use to reduce that liability. See, instead of paying at one go huge amount, they can reduce that liability by paying in kind of installment. In simple terms, input credit means at the time of paying tax on output, you can reduce the tax you have already paid on inputs and pay the balance amount. That way, you can reduce the liability. For example, if it is there is a very simple diagram to explain this. Look at the diagram, understanding input credit. So let's say this is the tax, this is the output that the business group has to pay. Okay. Then these are the inputs there. So here the business people can spend here tax paid on the purchase of, let's say they purchase 100 A. So then for the 100 there is a tax for that, and then tax paid on the purchase of the rupees B, and the B is 120, let us say, and tax paid on the purchase of the C is, let us say, 80. So what is the input credit? Tax credit means tax to be paid by manufacturer is this 450 what he should have paid at one go, but instead he is reducing the liability by dividing this in the first installment and later in the last installment. So now 450 is the actual thing that he has to pay, let us say, tax on output. Now let us say this is the output. So he can pay now, the business company can pay now, initially when they are purchasing, making the purchases here during the inputs that are required to produce the output. Inputs go into making of the output. Okay, this is the arrow mark. Inputs go to make output. So when you are buying those inputs, there you can pay tax, so that instead of paying 450 at one go, you can divide that into ABC payments, and then finally this. That is what we mean by input credit. So here is the example. They, for producing an output of rupees 450, let us say, they needed purchases. So tax paid on the purchase of 100 rupees here, A is 100 rupees, on the B is 120, on the C is 80. So together you can cost now. What is the input credit now? How do you calculate? So total tax to be paid by manufacturer is equal to 450. This is 450 minus 100, 120 and 80. So all this put together, this add, and then what is the cost? So this all put together 100, 120, 80 means 300. Actually, how much he has to pay? 450. So at the time of this, he can pay. Therefore, at the ABC point, and when he is taking inputs to produce the output, so otherwise he should have paid 450. Now he can conveniently play in reducing the liability, or divide that in form of installments, of making it lesser liable at the time of paying the output tax at the output. So 450 was the actual thing that he has to pay, but already he has paid at input ABC 300. So like this. So when he has done that, so we can see that input credit is 300. So this is the benefit that he has got to take. So 450 minus 150 is gone, and input credit is 300 is calculated. So that is the kind of thing. So what is the importance of the input credit? It is the tax that a business pays on a purchase, and it can use to reduce the tax liability, which we have seen. Input credit means at the time of paying tax on output, you can reduce the tax you already paid on the inputs and pay the balance amount. There are exceptions. A business under composition scheme cannot avail of input tax credit. ITC cannot be claimed for personal, that is, input tax credit cannot be claimed for personal use or for goods that are exempted from that liability. So this is the diagram. What is the significance of ITC, input tax credit? It helps to eliminate the cost cascading effect of the pre-GST tax regime. So there is a cost cascading effect. What is happens is input goods get added up, and then there is a lot of cascading effect of the taxes. And in order to reduce that liability, this mechanism is worked out. Under GST, there is no cost cascading effect because of two facts. First, most of the tax are merged into a single tax. So there are no cascading effect. And second, the input tax credit. Because of the input tax credit, liability is reduced. And also it is all merged into single tax. Therefore, no cascading effect, no greater liability for the firms, business firms, to pay the tax while paying the taxes. They will pay the taxes, but the burden, cost, and the liability will be reduced. And also that it is because of it is merged into single tax, and also because of input tax credit, which facilitates that you have to pay certain taxes at the input stage before coming to the output stage. And later that minus this is equal to output credit. So there could be possibility of misuse of the provision by unscrupulous. There can be some misuse of the provision by unscrupulous businesses by generating fake invoices just to claim tax credit. Now, this is very important. There could be possibility of misuse of the provision by unscrupulous businesses by generating fake invoices just to claim tax credit. So they can produce some invoices and generate and misguide the taxes department, and also misuse this provision of input tax credit. As much as 80% of the total GST liability is being settled by input tax credit, and only 20% is deposited in cash. So you see, this is the one concern. 80% they are declaring it to be settled by ITC at the input stage itself, claiming. And only that output is mentioned that is coming around 20% only. So this is causing a great concern, which means what the government should have received as 100%, majority of it is they are showing it under input credit. So here they are misusing this provision. At the input side, they are saying they have paid the 80%, and they are showing only 20%. Whereas in this example, it is the credit 300. But here they show more of the input credit here, taxes here, and they say that they have paid here, and therefore 80% they are showing. Only 20% they are giving as the cash here. So this is the kind of cheating or misguiding and evasion of taxes going on. That is the main problem. So this has to be overcome. There should be proper checks and balances so that the revenue is not evaded, and also revenue is received by the government in the proper, as per the proper assessment. Assessment also should not be wrong. They should not show 80% as the input payment at the input time and only 20% at the time of output and the cost price when they are depositing cash. This could be very, very significant evasion of the taxes. So this is one concern that has there. There should be proper checks and balances, formulations, and then there should be some kind of declarations. Some could be monitoring, and there could be IT can be used to track this activity so that they are not lying or bluffing or misguiding that so-called 80% of the liability shown only at the initial stage, and misusing the provision by this unscrupulous business by generating fake invoices to claim the tax credit.